Oh. We're finally at the Super Nintendo.
It's a big deal. We're making a big deal out of it.
Welcome back to Let's Play 30 Years of Mario, the Let's Play series where we're going through all the Mario games, playing all the way through the main games, taking a look at side games.
Who's doing it? Who's playing through?
That's me, Kyle Churchill. I'm playing.
And I'm Keith Carberry. I'm watching mostly.
We finally got to Super Mario World, a fan favorite. You know, we've talked a lot about the great debate between Mario 3 and Mario World. But just as a disclaimer, due to quality and video issues, this is the third time that we'll be recording the beginning of Super Mario World.
And the second time we'll be completing it.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry if we're a little unenthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
Apologies in advance.
So I think that there's a lot to be said for this game, but I definitely think that I've decided once and for all that 3 is better than World.
Oh my god, what the... This is like your third flip-flop on this issue.
Well, what happened was I originally...
Hold on, there's a bit of text at the beginning here. Let's return to this conversation in a few seconds. Welcome, this is Dinosaur Land.
Don't get me started on that.
In this strange land, we find that Princess Toadstool is missing again. Looks like Bowser is at it again.
Again.
That really bothers me so much. Immediately starting off, there are 2 levels that we can pick instead of just 1, and also we can go to Yoshi's house.
Yeah. You know what bothers me about it more than the again?
Where Yoshi lives.
It's there's like more space in between some words than others. And it drives me crazy.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry I'm not home, but I have gone to rescue my friends who were captured by Bowser. Well, they're doing that thing where they space the words so each line exactly takes up the amount of the page. It's like a thing. Like, I think newspapers do it.
Yeah, and I hate it.
Okay, sorry.
But this game does it much more... Because there's so few words, it's so much more obvious that it's happening.
Alright. Here we go. Yoshi's Island 1. Beautiful colors. 16 bits of them.
This
of all the colors.
This game looks so good.
Giant sprites. Dragons that you have to step on twice.
Flying blocks. Who even knows at this point?
Spin jumps. Mushrooms that make you bigger. This game has it all.
Yeah. Well, it has a little bit too much.
So we can see here the new spin jump is kind of like a double attack, but it doesn't go as high. There's Yoshi coins. I'm still not 100% sure what those do.
Tell them about the Koopas.
The Koopas come out of their shells now.
And what do you think about that?
It's bullshit.
It is kind of bullshit.
Get the fuck out of here. And the spin jump breaks those blocks. We got parallax scrolling, all of it.
Yeah.
You get shot out of cannons? What doesn't this game have? Lots of tutorial boxes.
Point of advice.
This is a good point to bring up, that when you get an extra power-up, it'll get stored in the square at the top of the screen, and then you can press select button to make it come down.
And why is that something you like more than the way it's done in Super Mario 3?
In Super Mario 3, you can collect power-ups, but they go into an inventory. They go into an inventory.
An inventory.
Where you can only access it from the world map before you enter a level. So you have to decide beforehand that you want to use one. And since I'm an awful item hoarder, as people may have seen in our Mario 3 videos, that I usually just end up not using any power-ups because I can never decide that I need them. Whereas in this one, anytime you get hit, it just drops from the top of the screen, you can immediately pick it up. So it's a much more active system.
Yeah.
It's kind of... It just occurred to me, it's almost kind of like when Halo popularized the mechanic of only having 2 guns at once.
Yeah.
Like FPSs, you used to have just like 10 guns.
Just all the guns.
But now it's just like, no, you only need... Like, you're only gonna use 2, so just keep 2 at a time.
Which, I mean, they only did that because there wasn't a row of number keys on your Xbox
but
controller.
it still made it better.
It did, I agree. Like, where are you holding that rocket launcher? What do you...
Like, the weapon switching in GoldenEye was such a mess. Because that's the other console FPS that was big.
Yeah. Which, man, I went back. We must have talked about
And
this.
that was before anyone thought of radial menus, also.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Well, here is another game mechanic. There's these giant color switches. So throughout the levels, there'll be these dotted lines that are empty, and then once you find the secret switch and hit it, the levels, all the dotted lines of that color will be filled with blocks. That's a cool thing about this game, is it's kind of non-linear. So there are points where you'll go back to old levels and try to find hidden exits that will unlock secret levels. It's a big reason that a lot of people like this game so much.
The cape. They won't shut up about the cape.
I kind of hate having, like, I totally respect the whole, like, hidden exit thing as, like, a really cool way to expand a game. Hooray! Thank you for rescuing me. My name is Yoshi. On my way to rescue my friends, Bowser trapped me in that egg.
First of all, he grows up real fast.
Yeah. No, he was just trapped in the egg.
Well, it looked like he was born and then aged.
So now you riding dinosaurs. What was I saying? Oh, I am not big into hunting in 2D worlds for things, which is weird because I love, like, Metroid and Castlevania. But I don't know, linear. I don't like searching.
Well, because those have like an up and down component.
I don't like searching linear levels. I've never liked that in games. But to each
that reminds
his
me
own.
of the 6 people that were like, you didn't show the secret hidden staircase in Mario Land. It's like,
Yeah,
we didn't know about that because, like, I just play the game straight through.
Whoa. So the first appearance of Yoshi, now Mario's trusty sidekick.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be...
Now Mario's trusted sidekick, soon his mortal enemy.
Whoop. Oh, here's a new thing. You can throw blocks and shells upwards by pushing up.
There's a lot of text in this game. Tell us about the text. How do you feel about that?
How I feel about text in a Mario game is fuck text in a Mario game. What?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you just there's a dinosaur, just ride the dinosaur.
Yeah, like we don't need context for Yoshi. We don't need to be like, oh, I was trying to find my friends, so that's why I'm on your side, because I also don't like Bowser because he kidnapped my friends and not just my girlfriend, but also the reason I grow up so fast from the egg is because I was trapped in the egg. I didn't grow up out of the egg. It's like, dude, no one needs context for the green dinosaur you ride on. Like, knock it off.
Yeah, there's no amount of context that would make it make sense, and kind of even trying is with, like, no, when a mushroom first popped out of the block.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, wait, this mushroom was bigger? Where's the text that tells me why?
Boom! Hi! I'm a power mushroom!
I'm a power mushroom.
I used to be a really big person, but evil witch turned me into a tiny mushroom, so that's why when you eat me, it unlocks my power and makes you bigger.
Have you seen my cousin that gives you extra lives?
There's also a smaller number of suits that Mario can wear in this game. They have the new cape that we'll see soon in the Fire Flower. That's pretty much it. In fact, that might exactly be it.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that the suits were such a huge component of
I think they were. If I was more active about using them, they would be.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're just an inactive suit upper.
But it's part of the reason I like Mario 3 so much is because I like how weird it is. It has its whole stage play motif, and there's a part where you turn into a frog, and Mario hops like a frog. And there's Karibo's shoe where you're just in a shoe, you're just in a big green boot for no reason. The whole thing is so fucking weird.
But I mean, this game's really weird too. It's just weird in different ways, and then it also kind of tries to account for its weirdness.
I think it loses a bit of its weirdness. And fuck, I hate that.
There's a big green dinosaur that hatches from an egg that you ride on, and then the Koopas take off their shells and start flying like superheroes. It's weird. It's just weird in a different way.
Yeah, but like
in a not as good way.
We talked about this before, like the fact that a leaf turns Mario into a raccoon and the raccoon lets him fly that's way more insane than Mario being able to fly with a magic cape. Like, magic cape is like the standard for being able to fly when you're not supposed to. Oh, I missed Yoshi. You're supposed to like jump off Yoshi and hit the bar and then land on him again.
You're gonna put out the
I
thing
fucked that up.
You're gonna put out the thing that we lost as a podcast, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'd have to listen to it to make sure that it's worth it.
Well, there was that whole bit about Yoshi that was good.
Fuck. Man.
No, you got one, bro.
Alright, I guess just one though.
Yeah, sometimes you get none.
I don't know about that.
It's all about risk. Risk v reward.
And then we have like there's like a sequence where he'll walk into the castle, and that's kind of weird. We talked a little bit about this. This is kind of, I mean, this is a launch title for the Super Nintendo. So there are a lot of things that you can make game characters do now on the Super Nintendo that either wasn't possible on the NES or just like you would have had to be an amazing coder or whatever, game maker to pull it off on the NES that you could just do really easily on the Super Nintendo, like having this fence that Mario climbs. I'm sure it was really cool if you just got a Super Nintendo and saw it for the first time, like, oh my god, he swings around. Here now, looking back, I think these fence segments are totally useless and boring.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really anything interesting about them.
That's something that a lot of games, especially at the beginning of console cycles, suffer from. Is like, oh man, I can't believe they can do this. Like, yeah, they can do it, and it sucks.
Still, though, like,
kill you.
Some of these things, like this enormous, crazy sprite thing that's trying to kill me, that's a way cooler thing for a new console to be able to do than, like, better lighting effects.
Yeah.
Or, like, really cheap normal mapping. Like, oh, great. Oh, no.
I mean, new
Yay.
consoles have stuff like that too. Like, do you remember playing Assassin's Creed and seeing all those goddamn people?
True.
Like, that's a similar type of, like, oh my god, there's just like 1,000 people walking around. This is the first game that seems populated.
That was a big deal.
Yeah.
But that also came out like a year after the consoles were.
Yeah, but it was still because of the new consoles that it was able to happen.
True. Mario has defeated the demented Iggy Koopa in Castle Number 1 and rescued Yoshi's friend, who is still trapped in an egg. Together, they now travel to Donut Land. This brings up a debate that we had before that no one heard.
Yeah.
Or it's not a debate.
Just an observation.
It wasn't a debate. It was more a discussion. It was like,
so they say that you're in Dinosaur Land.
You're in Dinosaur Land.
And then they move on to Donut Land. So is Dinosaur Land in the entire thing?
Or is Donut Land a totally new land?
Is Donut Land part of Dinosaur Land in the same way that Yoshi's Island is part of Dinosaur Land?
Yeah.
Or is Yoshi's Island and Dinosaur Land the same thing, and Donut Land is a nation unto itself?
It's hashtag Super Mario World Mysteries.
Yeah. See, this is where the text would have come in handy.
Okay.
Explaining the geography.
Okay, so here's Mario's cape. When I run, I can fly up into the air. And, like, yeah, technically, it's way more useful than the raccoon powers. You can, like, use it to fly instantly. You can get hit and lose the power completely and then not be able to show people what it looks like.
Yeah, you'll get it again.
But you're not a raccoon.
Yeah.
Though, is the thing. That's the thing about that.
And you hate this.
I'm terrible at this.
But it's not a thing you can be terrible at. It's just
It
chance.
is. I just have the worst luck.
There's no such thing as that.
Bullshit. And here's the part where you can farm lives. Or at least, that's what I did. So I'm pushing back on the D-pad to stay aloft.
See, that does look pretty fun, though.
It's pretty cool, but come on. You could have made him a flying squirrel. And they eventually did that. Oh, God.
When? Where?
Fuck off. In new Super Mario Bros. U, there's a flying squirrel suit.
Oh, yeah, I know that. I like how he, like, pounds to the ground.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I also didn't figure out that you could push back to stay in the air with the cape until, like, a year ago.
Oh, so you just didn't even know...
I didn't even know.
You didn't even know about this shit.
Yeah. So now I can acknowledge that functionally the cape is better. Before I thought you just came up and then went back down. I was like, this is the worst thing ever. This is not, you can't even touch the raccoon suit. And that's because I didn't have a Super Nintendo growing up. For people that are like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't have a Super Nintendo.
He doesn't even have, like, he's not even using the cape as a cape. He's using it as, like, a parachute thing.
Well, there is no use for a cape, is the thing. You can't use a cape as a cape.
Well, I mean, so Superman, when Superman flies, he's got a cape and it flaps in the wind.
Yeah.
It's not the cape giving him the power of flight.
No.
But, like, you assume that this cape is imbued with some sort of magic.
Do you?
He's just I do. It's just letting him kind of like...
No. Okay. Let me get back here. When you say you're assuming it's imbued with magic, you're talking about Mario's cape.
Yeah, Mario's cape.
Okay, I was confused. I thought you were talking about Superman's cape.
No,
I was like, there's no magic. And furthermore, Keith, you should realize that you should know Superman is weak to magic, so he would never want to wear a magic
That's
cape.
why.
God, you're so dumb.
Kyle, I know that he's weak to magic. I tweeted about it. I can't remember when or what the tweet was about, but I remember that the punchline was that he was weak to magic.
Oh God. Ah!
Oh,
fuck.
I remember. It was... Damn it! It was a tweet about how he was weak to magic, so he lost in a fight to Joe Bluth. Something. So it was something about that.
Whatever. So any squares that are any tiles that are red on the world map, they signify an alternate exit. And we'll find. We'll see one shortly.
Hurry!
Get away from me. I don't really like any of these levels.
No, it's a level that makes you wait for something.
It's really slow, and there's a lot of getting crushed to death. The levels are really long in this game compared to Mario 3 also, but they do have mid-level checkpoints, but still, I don't like it.
What is it? Is that just rocks? Because it looks like a pile of gold.
It's like a yellow rock, I guess. I don't know. I think in that book I read, they talked about how a lot of the new mechanics in this game were specifically designed around the new capabilities of the Super Nintendo. So with the ability to do these like moving backgrounds and giant sprites, they had those kinds of levels.
What's up with all the football players? That's like...
Yeah.
That's a thing, like...
I don't know.
That does not conform aesthetically with Mario.
No, it doesn't. I always hated... I've gotten to the point where I don't really think about it anymore, but I always hated the fact that there were football players in a Mario game. I didn't get it. And sometimes they throw baseballs. What's going on?
I guess that's weird enough.
So you get the key and you bring it to the keyhole, and then the new Switch Town level.
Love Switch Town.
Oops.
Kai, what have you been up to?
Oh, I forgot about that. The Koopas, when they're out of their shells, they can catch shells.
Kai, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to?
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
We haven't recorded in a couple weeks.
No. I've been waiting really patiently to play Silent Hill 3, mostly.
Oh yeah? Are we doing that today?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, goodness.
It's on. I told you
You
that.
better put out a Mario video the day before and after you put out a Silent Hill video, or people are gonna freak out.
You saw the poll. They want the Silent Hill.
Yeah, the Silent Hill people want Silent Hill.
So what?
The Mario people hate polls. You know that.
No, they don't. People answered our Mario poll.
Yeah.
So now, if that level I didn't like wasn't enough, I have to play it again. So
You don't have to play it again.
I do have to play it again.
God damn it. You don't need these coins?
Yeah, they're useful, I guess.
You've got 24 lives right now. And this game is not hard.
It is hard. It gets a lot harder later on.
Didn't seem like it when you were playing it the other day. Did we finish the other day?
No. The game?
I can't remember we completed.
No.
I didn't think so. We did a couple hours and then lost it all.
Yeah.
Okay.
The later levels do get really hard. That's why I talked about farming lives out of that coin place before.
Right.
So I would run out of lives.
I heard those little flying cactuses.
Flying cactuses?
Yeah.
I never saw them that way.
What did you see them as? Flying watermelons?
I don't know, it's like green birds.
No, they're definitely cactuses.
The orange thing is their beak in the middle.
They're cactus bats. No, they're screaming.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
They're cactus bats.
Yeah, that seems more likely.
Google it right now. Super Mario World cactus bat. You'll get 1,000 hits in 0.14 seconds.
First Mario game with save files. Forgot about that. That was probably a big. It's not a thing you think about nowadays because like emulators and stuff.
Right.
But
and because every real game has save files.
That's a big deal. No, I just mean like when you're comparing the quality of Super Mario World to other Mario games.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget that this was the first game. This is the first Mario game you could complete in less than one sitting.
More than one sitting. It's impossible to complete anything in less than a sitting.
I stand by what I said.
Yeah.
And I won't apologize.
How long did it take to complete the new Call of Duty? One standing and half a sitting.
Hold on, let me put it this way. What if I sat down and I played video games for 6 hours straight, but I beat the Call of Duty campaign in the first 4 hours, and then I moved on to a different game, so I could say I beat it in less than one sitting? Because my sitting was 6 hours, but I beat it in 4. Does that work?
Oddly.
What's the ruling on this? Judges?
It works.
They say it's good. They say it's good.
It works, but it's bullshit.
The way the saving works is that the game allows you to save anytime you beat a castle or a ghost house. But it also works for replaying them. So it got to this dumb point where like later on, the first time I played through Super Mario World, when I got to later levels that were hard, to avoid losing any progress, I would just go back to this first ghost house every time I beat a level and completed this ghost house so I could save my game after every level.
You love the ghost houses, right? You love them?
I fucking hate these ghost houses.
What's wrong with them?
I don't like...
Go to the arrow. Go to the arrow for sure.
Yeah, it tells you to go to the arrow, and then you go through here, but it's not the right way. There's this thing that comes out, it gives you coins.
But not enough coins to justify it. And then you're like, I'm back here in the spot. Oh no.
This is really hard to figure out the first time you play it. And I was not a fan.
I don't think that's true.
Even though there's an arrow pointing that way, you're supposed to go back to this one, and it looks like you're in the same place, but then,
why would the ghost house lie to you?
I get it. Yes.
I
do get it. It's an evil house that's tricking you. I understand the logic, but I just think it's unfair.
You're unfair. Course clear.
I'm really
unclear.
Right?
Yeah.
Ha! I like that a river appears and then a bridge.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, you can't get... Yes, you can. I realize I'm not doing great with my, getting the stars out of the pole at the end of the levels. Sorry.
It's okay. Sorry. Why are you going back to this one?
Whoop, to get the special exit.
Oh, nobody cares about that, except for all the people that care every time we don't get one.
Yeah, we can just say right now, we're not gonna play all the levels. So
yeah. I don't think that for anything that we've ever shown can it be indicative of a perfect or near perfect playthrough.
No.
It's just the way people play video games that aren't crazy.
But we might want to keep in mind this will be the last 2D Mario game that we'll be playing for quite a while.
Oh yeah? Why is that?
Because it was the last one they made for quite a while.
Well, there's a bunch of side games that we haven't done.
They're not, like...
Aren't there a bunch of side games on the Super Nintendo?
Yeah, but they're not, like, Mario games. They're not traditional Mario
okay,
games.
but they're still 2D.
Yes, Keith, they're still 2D.
Well, you said it's the last...
Nobody watching this was confused. You were the only one that was confused when I said that. I guess there's Yoshi's Island, but that's still so different. Even the games that come out on the Game Boy Advance later on are just remakes of old ones.
I had some Mario game for the Game Boy that I need to figure out what it was because I liked it a lot.
The original Game Boy? Color?
It might have been Color.
You probably had Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, which was just the original, but for a Game Boy, and it had like save files and a world map.
Was it a world map that looked like strangely similar to the Yoshi's Island world map?
It probably looked more like the Super Mario Bros. 3 world map.
No, that's not it then. I mean, it could have been. I don't know. It's been a long time.
Gotcha.
Hey, it's been quite a while.
Huh?
What else have you been up to?
Hey! Are you just trying to bait me into talking about Grand Theft Auto 5?
No, but if you want to talk about Grand Theft Auto 5, go for it.
I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 5.
How's that?
It's good.
I don't
It's good.
feel anything. I don't feel it.
I just this morning while I was playing got to a part that was easily the most exciting part of the game thus far, and it kind of seems like that might be quite a large part of the game going forward.
How far into it are you? How many whores?
How many whores into the game am I?
Yeah, how many whores have you clubbed to death? Take back your money.
That's
no,
really,
how many hours?
That's really the metric that you use to judge how far through a GTA game you are. I don't know. Probably about 7?
Okay.
Maybe less than that. Maybe it feels like 7. It's probably like 5 or something. Why?
And I heard Justin McElroy talking about the game and say, like, it was one of those things where, like, I think this game is really good, but here's a list of things about this game that I think are bad. It was one of those types of things.
Yeah, people like to make those lists with GTA.
But he basically was saying, like, yeah, a lot of this game is boring. You do a lot of boring missions where you don't get any money.
It's true. Like, this is definitely... Ugh. There's a lot of doing stuff that you've done in a lot of games and other GTA. You know, like you're popping out of cover and pulling the left trigger and then the right trigger to shoot people. You're driving around like you do in GTA. You drive places.
Yeah, I just feel like I really don't feel like I'm in the mood to do the type of shooting that is in Grand Theft Auto. Like after just playing Saints Row, I feel like that whole thing isn't something that I'm gonna be enjoying.
Do I go through here? Oh, thank God. I thought you said Saints Row 4 was a lot like Crackdown and not Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, but it's like presented as a Grand Theft Auto style open world game, and then it's so much more easier and more fun to get around, easier and more fun to kill things.
True.
And then like it feels like playing Grand Theft Auto 5 in a game, not necessarily in a polish and story sense, but in a gameplay sense, feels like a step backwards.
The thing about am I in the? Oh, look at this. Sneak peek at the final world or whatever.
Have they announced the PC version?
Bowser. This is the first time that he was called Bowser. I guess probably because they couldn't get away with it this time because it actually said his name on that sign in the game and not just in the manual.
Right.
But no, they have not announced a PC version of GTA 5.
Because in addition to kind of not really feeling the whole deal of Grand Theft Auto, I also don't want to have to set up my Xbox.
Your Xbox isn't set up?
No.
What are you doing?
I have to set it up onto my computer monitor. Because when I built my mom a computer, I was using a spare thing that my sister had been using, So I was like, take this extra monitor that I have lying around that I'm not using. And then she came and took her thing back from my room. And so now I only have one screen. So I don't have an extra screen to plug in my Xbox to.
Wow. Your life is a tragedy.
Yeah, it's terrible. I feel like I'm sick.
The thing about GTA, it's just that they're so good about creating like interesting characters and immersive worlds. You know, like you might not want to go to the next mission that much because you're like, it's gonna be a GTA mission, but like you genuinely want to see where the character is gonna go next. The multiple character thing is it's interesting.
Okay.
It's fun to switch between them. And
can you switch between them like on the go?
On the fly, yes, you can.
How quickly does it take to switch? Is it like instant?
It depends on how close to each other they are, because it has to load the world. So, like, if they're across the map from each other, and, like, if you're playing one character for a while, it doesn't...
Oh, so it's not like you're not getting reskinned as the other character. Like, now your other character's just here.
No, they're off in the world. And that's the thing, is that if you're just off in the world doing whatever, playing for a while as Franklin, and then you switch to Michael, Michael will just be somewhere in the world like he was... almost as if the character was acting on his own accord while you were gone.
Do they, or do
Even
they just stand there?
They don't. They just kind of show up somewhere. But the thing I have noticed about it is that like Michael is like the like retired professional criminal who's like depressed and he hates his life, and all he wants to do is watch television. So like 99% of the time, if I switch to Michael, he's just at his house watching television. But like if I switch to Franklin, like he's usually out doing something. It's kind of interesting. But like if you are doing a mission where both of them are working together, you can just switch on the fly like really fast.
That's cool.
There was even a part on the mission I was talking about I did earlier today that was kind of like one of the first really big story missions. There's this part where you're on a dirt bike going through a tunnel as Franklin, and then he hits a jump, and like in midair the game auto switches you to Michael, who's driving a van like right next to the dirt bike. Wow, that's incredible. Alright, I got one life. So like the characters are really interesting. So you have like Michael, who is, like I said, he's kind of he was a guy that did a lot of like heists and stuff, I guess, and he made a bunch of money and then he kind of got out. There's some references, I guess he might be under like FBI like witness protection or something, though in GTA it's FIB.
Fib?
Yeah, Fib. And then like Franklin is
Federal Investigative Bureau?
Sure. Franklin is like he's a young Afro-American living on the streets, and like all his friends and stuff are all these like petty criminals, and they're doing like drug deals and that kind of stuff, and he's like involved in that stuff, but he wants to stop doing like dumb gangbanger crap and start doing like big jobs and stuff. Like he doesn't
for real crime.
Yeah, he wants to do like he's not trying to be a good person. He just wants to be a criminal that's actually making a lot of money. And all his friends are like, whatever, dude. So
his friends are looking down on his criminal ambition.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty great. So it's interesting characters.
Wait, who's the third person?
The third person is he's like some crazy guy that Michael used to work with back in the day, I think. I haven't gotten to him yet, so the game starts out, you initially start out as just Franklin for like maybe an hour or two, and then you get Franklin and Michael and just those two for a while.
When do you get Bash?
Who's Bash?
There's a show that I've never seen called Franklin and Bash.
Oh, okay. Well done.
Thanks.
Oh, thought I had a cape. I was trying to glide down from the bar. So the mission that I just did today was I did a heist. So
Okay.
there were like a a series. It was a heist on a jewelry store. So there were a series of missions as Michael where I like went and stole like some like I stole like a the van for like a pest control company, and I went and like stole some kind of like sleeping gas from some like armored truck or something like that.
Okay.
And then I had to pick I had to assemble a crew.
Nice.
And so I had there were like 4 positions, and I had 2 choices for each one. And they have stats, but like the better guys take a bigger cut of your total pull. So like since I was going with the smart route, they asked you like, do you want to do like a full frontal assault where you just like bust in and start shooting people, or do you want to take the smart approach where you drop gas in and make everyone go to sleep and then you steal everything while they're asleep? And I did that. So
you didn't have to hire as many people?
I didn't have to hire the good gunman because like there wasn't going to be any shooting involved. But I did want to get a good driver because we still needed a getaway vehicle.
Right.
And that kind of thing. So there was like cool stuff. You like going through the jewelry store and smashing everything to get the jewels out, and then I was playing it, so then like Heat style, all these guys are like running around with like duffel bags full of money strapped to their backs, and
Nice.
I'm like going through sewer tunnels on a dirt bike as Franklin. Like at one point one of my team members falls off his bike, but I was able to drive over his duffel bag to recollect the money that he dropped.
Nice.
So we didn't lose it. It was a lot of fun. It was very cool. And apparently that's something you do a lot in the game. So
I can buy
Interesting.
I can buy this game on my way home. Should I?
I think so.
should I wait?
I think you should definitely buy it.
Should I wait until are you playing it on what?
I'm playing it on the X Pro 365.
Okay. Is that new?
That's
Is that a
that's the
console
new one.
iteration?
Yeah, that's the new one. I'm getting it early. I got it early. I know a guy.
So, but should I wait until they announce and release a PC version?
No, because
I prefer to wait.
It's going to be at least a year.
Really?
Yeah, that's how Rockstar do. And they didn't even release a PC version of like Red Dead.
Right.
And even then,
The LA Noire was like a couple months.
Also, but remember the PC version of, I don't know about LA Noire, but the PC version of GTA 4 was notoriously fucked.
It was busted.
Like, it just straight up did not work for a lot of people's cards and stuff. So, like, don't even bother. Just it's fine.
Yeah.
GTA 5 has never been about...
There's like a mandatory install disc. Just like...
Yeah, that sucks.
I just can't. It's so... I have to go to a store and buy a game?
Okay, hold on. Listen.
What kind of world do I live in that I have to go 3 minutes down the road to a GameStop, buy a game, put it in open a disc tray?
Dude, shut up.
Install it? What?
Morton
Install
Koopa
a
Jr.
disc?
of Castle Number 2 is now just a memory. Next area is the underground Vanilla Dome. What traps await Mario in this new world? What will become of Princess Toadstool?
What delicious traps await us in the...
Oh, delicious, delicious traps. I'm a bigger fan of the chocolate dome, though, I must say.
Yeah. And